I love golf. For 25 years, it was all I was involved in. I was in the... No, start over. I love golf. It's the greatest game in the world. It's also the most difficult, most aggravating, and most frustrating. But I spent 25 years in the industry honing my craft as a teacher, and I wanted to share with you today 5 things that I think can help you become a better golfer, or if you're thinking about the game, help you understand what you need to learn in order to become competent or even very good at this extremely difficult activity. What we're going to talk about today are what are called the ball flight laws. There are 5 of them, and they are irrefutable. You have to satisfy them. They're based on physics. They were actually developed in 1964 with 2 British physicists named Cochrane and Stubbs, and they established the ball flight laws. What they are, in no particular order, are path, face, angle of approach, centeredness, and speed. We're going to talk about all 5 of those over the next few minutes and help you understand why the ball goes where it goes. So, in no particular order, we're going to start with path. What path means is if you were to draw a line perpendicular or straight at your target, if the club, as you were swinging it, were to start off to the right of your target, the ball will tend to start to the right. Conversely, if your club path starts left of your target, the ball will start to the left. Closely related to path is face or face position. That is the position of the club face relative to the path you're traveling. If the club face is open or toed out relative to your path, the ball will spin in a clockwise fashion and curve to the right. If the club face is closed or toed in relative to the path that you're traveling, the ball will spin in a counterclockwise fashion and curve to the left, commonly called a hook or a draw if it doesn't go very far to the left. The third is angle of approach. The angle of approach is simply the angle at which the club head is traveling when it makes contact with the ball. Now, the steeper the angle of approach into the ball, the higher the ball will fly, because that imparts more spin on the ball, and the spin causes the ball to rise. So, if I'm trying to hit the ball high, I want to come in with a steeper angle of approach. That will put more spin on the golf ball, and it will tend to fly higher. The fourth item, or the fourth law, is speed. Now, speed is very, very important, and speed, again, can be based primarily on physics. It's not just strength, but it's the speed at which the club head is traveling when it makes contact with the golf ball. Now, when the club is traveling fast, there's a good chance that the ball will travel farther. However, speed is, again, like a lot of these laws, they're intertwined, is very related to centeredness, where I contact the ball with the club face. I want to contact the ball in the center of the club face every time. As little as 1/2 of an inch off the center of the club face can cause a 15% decrease in distance. So even though I may swing faster, if I'm hitting the ball towards the toe or in towards the heel, I'm not going to see the benefit. So what do I do? Why are these important? As a player, what you can learn is every time you hit the ball, you can learn something from your ball flight and trace it back to the ball flight laws. This will help you when you are practicing or when you're working on your game to figure out what are the things I need to work on. I will give you an example. Let's say I'm hitting a shorter shot with a 7, 8, 9 iron, and the ball travels left of my target, higher than I wanted, and shorter than I wanted. I can trace that back to, well, my path was aimed left of my target line. That caused the ball to start to the left. The ball traveled much higher than I wanted. I had probably a steeper angle of approach into the ball than I needed. And it didn't travel as far as I wanted, probably because I did not hit it on the center of the club face. So now what you do as a player is you take those results or take that data and say, what do I need to do to improve my ball striking? It's very, very important that you understand these 5 ball flight laws, because everything you do in terms of golf can be traced back to one of these laws. And as I said at the beginning, They are irrefutable. You cannot deny the ball flight laws. So now, what we do is say, when I'm practicing, I will work on satisfying one of those laws when I'm practicing. If I want to learn to hit the ball on the center of the club face, I'll start slowly and slowly speed up. And you can tell when you hit the ball in the center of the club face. Those of you that play, you know what it feels like to hit a good shot. So when you're working on your game, let's decide how and where and what I'm going to work on. That's important. If you're struggling with that and you want to get better, the best solution is to find yourself a great teacher. Now, get your golf clubs, some golf balls, go out and play with passion, have fun, and enjoy.